One of the actions system administrator can perform within the Manage System Time task is setting up of the new CTN. Initially, when there are no CTNs configured, in place of the topology, user will see a prompt to set up a new CTN. Set up new CTN is also always listed under the STP actions. Clicking on the Set up new CTN action launches a wizard dialog that guides administrator through the process of setting up new CTN. This action will not launch if all systems managed by the HMC are already assigned into an active CTN. The task wizard is broken into several steps, which are listed across the top. Each step contains detailed instructions for completing the step and additional guidance. Some steps may contain previous selections. Detailed instructions may also include inline definitions of the relevant technical terms. Guidance helps administrator with making the decisions by providing more information and best practices. Previous selections contain history of the user selections throughout the wizard thus far. In this first step, the user sets CTN identifier. In order to do this, the user has to select from a list of inactive CTN IDs, or optionally, the user can create a brand new CTN ID. After selecting or creating syntactically correct CTN ID, the user can click on the next button. On the Specify CTN Members page, the user can select which systems will be part of the new CTN. The user is presented with the sets of available systems, which are grouped as not configured or by CTN ID. Systems that are grouped by CTN ID are part of an inactive CTN, and when they're assigned to this new CTN will have their CTN ID changed accordingly. When one or more systems are selected, then the user can move on to the next step. On the Choose PTS step, the user selects a system to be configured as the preferred time server. On the lower right corner, you will notice that the previous selections area displays the CTN ID that was set in the previous step. Once BTS have been selected, we can go to the next page. On the Choose BTS step, the user selects a system to be configured as the backup time server. This step is bypassed if there is only one system in the CTN. On the lower right corner, you will notice that Previous Selections area contains CTN ID and PTS selections. Choosing BTS is optional but highly recommended. When either BTS is selected or opt-out checkbox is checked, then we can go to the next step. If both PTS and BTS have been selected and there are at least 3 systems in the CTN, then user will land on the Choose Arbiter page. This step is also optional, however highly recommended. Similarly to what we have seen before, Previous Selections area displays the user's picks for CTN, PTS, and BTS. When either Arbiter is selected or opt-out checkbox is checked, then we can go to the next step. If both PTS and BTS have been previously selected, then user will land on the Choose CTS page. On this step, user will select which system will be the current time server, PTS or BTS. Typically, PTS is the current time server. Once the selection is made, the user can proceed to the next step. Next 3 steps are related to the time configuration. On the Set Leap Seconds page, the user can specify the leap second offset, which can be either very important or completely irrelevant setting, depending on the application and business requirements. Guidance area provides a lot more insights on this topic. In this tutorial, we will leave default offset of 0 and move on to the next page. On this page, the user can set the time zone for their CTN by selecting an entry from the drop-down or by defining a custom time zone. Guidance area provides more in-depth information on the time zone settings and clock adjustments for daylight saving time. On the Set Date and Time step, the user can select an option to initialize the local date and time. Preferred option is to select the first option, which is use the configured external time source. If ETS is not configured, then the user will need to launch Configure External Time Source wizard. Configure ETS is also available as a standalone action from the main STP Actions menu. Once selection is made, the user can go to the Confirm Changes page, which is a final step in this wizard. In order to understand and confirm the changes, final step shows the graphical view of the CTN, complete with zoom-in features and status. From here, the user can click on the links and the systems just like on the main panel. Now that we have decided our changes all look correct, let's click on the Apply button. When the changes have finished propagating to all the systems in the CTN, a success message will show up. At this point, all the changes will be live on the main task view. Deconfiguring a CTN is a single-step action which can be found under the STP Actions menu. This is a disruptive operation since all systems in the STP CTN will be removed. This results in all servers becoming unsynchronized because they will be losing their clock source. All disrupted partitions are listed in the table with their parent systems, current status, and operating system name. In order to complete the configure action, user must type in their HMC password and then click Apply. When the changes are completed, success message will be displayed and CTN will effectively become an inactive CTN. All systems in an inactive CTN show up as a Stratum 0 system. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check our other HMC videos.